You've been moving like a broken compass, constantly spinning, never truly reaching your destination. This message is for those who are relentlessly chasing productivity, but finding themselves stuck in the same exhausting cycle of false starts and unfulfilled promises. You pour energy into strategies, tools, and elaborate plans, yet your days feel like a rerun, a cruel loop of intention without true execution. I see you, burning with desire for more, but trapped by an invisible chain. Here's the brutal diagnosis: you're not ready to change because you're addicted to the feeling of motivation, not the discipline of action. Some of you will dismiss this immediately. Some will find the truth too sharp, too confrontational. But for those warriors tired of being dominated by their own fleeting emotions, for those ready to break free from the illusion that feeling good is a prerequisite for doing good, I challenge you to listen until the very end. I'm not here to coddle you, I'm here to confront the adversary within, to break down the lies you tell yourself, and to arm you with the brutal truth you need to finally dominate. Are you prepared to face the real enemy of your progress? Listen up. You believe you're chasing productivity, but the truth, the brutal, unvarnished truth, is you're chasing a feeling. You're waiting for the surge of motivation, the spark of inspiration, the perfect alignment of mood and circumstance. And that, my friends, is why you are failing. That is the fundamental fracture in your pursuit of greatness. You are living a double life, one where you meticulously plan, strategize, and outline your ambitions, and another where you wake up and, at the first whisper of discomfort or apathy, you betray every single one of those promises. This internal incongruence, this chasm between your declared intentions and your mood-driven actions, is a hell you've built for yourself. You say you want to dominate, to conquer, to build an empire of achievement. But when the alarm rings and your body screams for 5 more minutes, your mood dominates you. When that demanding task looms and your mind craves the mindless scroll, your mood subjugates you. You become a puppet to your own fleeting emotions, pulled this way and that by every passing feeling. This isn't productivity, this is emotional slavery disguised as a pursuit of efficiency. You are bleeding energy, focus, and self-respect with every broken internal promise. Each time you tell yourself, "I'll do it later, when I feel like it," you chip away at your own internal fortress of character. You are constantly repeating yourself, caught in a vicious cycle where your plans are grand, but your execution is dictated by the whims of your disposition. This isn't about being lazy, it's about being dominated. It's about allowing an internal adversary, your mood, your excuses, your desire for instant gratification, to sit on the throne of your life, making decisions that are not aligned with your highest self. This adversary doesn't want you to succeed. It wants you comfortable, compliant, and consistently mediocre. It wants you to believe that effort should always feel good, that progress should be painless. It whispers lies: you're tired. You deserve a break. It can wait. And you, caught in this emotional tug-of-war, relent. You become a person who says one thing and does another, not because you're a liar, but because you've surrendered control to your internal adversary, your mood. Recognize this brutal truth. This is the first step towards domination. Stop pretending your feelings are your guide, they are often your saboteur. So, if chasing feelings is the wrong way to productivity, what is the right way? It begins with a brutal redefinition of what it truly means to be a person of disciplined integrity. It means being someone whose word, especially the word given to yourself in the form of a plan, is honored regardless of witnesses, regardless of mood, and most importantly, regardless of how you feel at any given moment. This isn't about being emotionless, it's about being emotionally sovereign. It's about building a character so robust, so unshakable, that your actions are dictated by your commitments, not by the fickle currents of your internal state. A person of true, disciplined integrity operates like a machine of purpose. They set their course, they chart their plan, and then they execute. Not when they're fired up. Not when they're feeling inspired. But because the plan dictates it. Imagine a warrior on the battlefield. Does he wait for motivation to strike when the enemy is advancing? Does he stop fighting because he feels tired or afraid? No. He acts out of a deeper commitment, out of discipline, out of the sheer will to survive and dominate. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the standard. That is the definition of a dominator in the war of life. This forge, this crucible where character is hammered into steel, demands a protocol. It's not about finding motivation, it's about creating the conditions for unyielding action. This is Coach Payne's character-building method, repurposed for the relentless war against mood-driven paralysis. It's a system to align thought, word, and action, transforming ephemeral intentions into concrete, unyielding reality. First, you must confront the lie that your feelings are sacred. Your feelings are signals, not dictators. They are data points, not destiny. Recognize this, admit it, and begin the process of breaking their tyrannical hold over your life. This is where the real work begins, not in seeking inspiration, but in declaring war on your own emotional inconsistency. You need to understand that your commitment to your plan is a sacred vow, a contract with your future self, and it must be fulfilled, come hell or high water, come elation or despair. Stop waiting for perfect feelings, start executing perfect plans. Now, let's talk about the brutal, practical application of this forge. This isn't theory, this is a declaration of war. This is the protocol to align thought, word, and action, to transform discipline from an effort into an unbreakable pillar of your identity. You will not wait for inspiration. You will not negotiate with your mood. You will dominate it. First command, declare the plan as sacred law, your schedule, your task list, your commitments to yourself. These are not suggestions. They are military orders. You wouldn't question a command on the battlefield, you will not question your own predetermined plan. It's a sacred contract. Write it down. Print it out. Look at it, and understand, this is what you will do. There is no debate, no flexibility for your fleeting feelings. This eliminates the internal negotiation, the energy-draining conversation you have with your lazy self every morning. Second command, implement the 10-second rule. The moment you feel the internal resistance, the urge to procrastinate, the whisper of, "I don't feel like it," you have 10 seconds. In those 10 seconds, you initiate the first physical step towards your task. Not thinking about it, not rationalizing, but moving. Get up. Open the document. Put on your running shoes. Pick up the weight. This breaks the inertia of inaction and overrides the emotional hijacking before it can take root. Dominate that initial impulse. Third command, embrace the "do it anyway" philosophy. There will be days, many days, when you feel tired, uninspired, bored, or even angry. That's when you fight the hardest. That's when you whisper to your internal adversary, "You have no power here." This is not about feeling good, it's about doing good. This is about proving to yourself, through relentless action, that your willpower is stronger than any passing emotion. You don't perform when you want to, you perform because you must. This is where true mental strength is forged. This is where you transform fleeting fear into potent fuel. Use that discomfort. Use that apathy. Let it be the fire that hardens your resolve. Fourth command, track and confront. keep a brutal log of your commitments and your actual execution. Confront your failures without self-pity. Understand why you allowed your mood to dominate. But do not dwell. Analyze, learn, and then immediately recommit to dominating the next opportunity. This relentless tracking and confrontation build radical accountability, closing every mental escape route your adversary tries to exploit. You cannot lie to a spreadsheet. You cannot hide from your own documented truth. This is how you forge unshakable strength, piece by brutal piece. This is how you begin to see your progress, not in how you feel, but in what you do. When you commit to this forge, when you truly implement the sacred law of the plan and consistently dominate your moods, you unlock a power that few ever experience. This is the solidity of character, the unshakable presence that comes from being exactly who you say you are, not just to others, but to yourself. This isn't about becoming a joyless robot, it's about becoming a master of your internal world, someone who can navigate the emotional storms of life without being capsized by them. The natural magnetism of people who are absolutely, unapologetically, consistently disciplined is undeniable. Respect is not demanded, it is earned through a relentless demonstration of unbreakable will. Imagine the peace that comes from knowing, with absolute certainty, that when you set a plan, it will be executed. That feeling of invincibility, that quiet confidence that whispers, "Nothing can stop me, because I always act." That is the central benefit. That is the core of absolute domination. You will stop being a victim of circumstance, of your own fleeting feelings, and start becoming the architect of your own destiny. Opportunities will naturally gravitate towards you, not because you're lucky, but because your consistent, reliable execution creates a gravitational pull for success. People trust those who show up, who deliver, who honor their word, and when that person is you, consistently, regardless of how you feel, your entire world shifts. This transformation isn't a gentle ascent, it's a hard-won battle, a daily war against the softness, the excuses, the emotional tyranny within. But the reward is ultimate freedom, freedom from the paralysis of procrastination, freedom from the shame of broken promises, freedom to build the life you truly desire. Your internal adversary, your mood-driven self, will fight back. It will tell you this is too hard, too demanding, too joyless. But it is lying. The greatest joy, the deepest pride, comes from knowing you are genuinely trustworthy, a warrior who keeps every promise, especially to yourself. You will feel that legitimate pride, knowing that you are genuinely trustworthy, not because you feel good, but because you do good, consistently. This is not about temporary motivation, this is about permanent transformation into a dominator. So, here we stand, at the precipice of a choice. Will you continue to be swayed by every shift in your emotional landscape, or will you plant your feet, dig in, and declare your plans as sacred, unyielding law? This is not just about productivity, this is about your identity. This is about becoming the person who commands respect, not through grand pronouncements, but through consistent, undeniable action. Nobody endures the unique blows you endure, the battles you face inside. That is your power. That is your unique forge. That is why you are perfectly positioned to understand this truth. Your struggles, your past failures, they are not a curse, they are the raw material for an unshakable will. You have been given a glimpse into the war that must be fought, the adversary that must be dominated. This adversary, your mood, your excuses, it doesn't want you to win. It wants you comfortable, weak, and perpetually dreaming without ever achieving. But you are not weak. You are merely allowing yourself to be dominated. And today, that ends. Today, you will choose to break that cycle. You are the chosen one. You are the individual capable of transforming this internal war into a symphony of domination. Get up today and be the person everyone is waiting to see, the person you know you can be. It's not over. You're not done. You still have a lot of work to do. But from this moment forward, that work will be dictated by discipline, not by fleeting feelings. This journey won't be easy. It will demand everything from you. It will demand consistency when you are exhausted. It will demand focus when you are distracted. It will demand courage when fear whispers its lies. But the alternative, a life lived in quiet desperation, constantly chasing feelings and finding only disappointment, that is a far heavier price to pay. Choose your suffering. Choose the suffering of discipline, and you will find freedom. Choose the suffering of regret, and you will find only chains. The time for pretense is over. The time for war has begun. Now, the decision is yours. Will you let your mood dictate your life for one more day, or will you declare absolute war against that internal adversary? I want you to attack. I want you to dominate. This isn't just a video, this is a call to arms. If you are ready to stop chasing productivity the wrong way and start building an empire of discipline over mood, then declare it. This isn't just a comment, it's your public declaration of war against self-sabotage, against emotional slavery. Write in the comments below, I will dominate my mood. Let that be your unbreakable oath. Join the warriors who refuse to be defined by their feelings. Subscribe to this channel if you are committed to domination, not as a spectator, but as a warrior on the front lines. Now, handle your business.